What's going on, racers, and thank you for tuning in for another episode of JB Trickle RC. This episode is going to be kind of a quick one, but what it is I wanted to show you guys the various projects I've got going on. Some pretty cool news, not only for the winter racing, but our final preparations for like the 2022 outdoor season for whenever that opens back up. First of all, I want to start off with the Losi 22S drag car. I posted an updated video on that not too long ago. And the last little bit we're going to be doing to this is I've still got to get my new tires balanced. Just haven't got around to that yet. And I got to go back and tune on that front geometry since I had to make some changes on the front suspension of this car for that carbon fiber chassis conversion. But doing so, I just want to give a huge shout out to Papa Bear 3D Designs for hooking me up with some tools that I'm going to be able to really use for this Losi 22S. Papa Bear 3D Designs, he has a Facebook page, and what he specializes in is these 3D printed tools and scale accessories. So he's got some really cool tools that you can get. He's got scale accessories if you're into crawlers, drifters, you just want some really cool scale things for your RC cars, so on and so forth. But one thing that Papa Bear 3D Designs sent me was this shock builder, and it's not so much as a builder itself, but this is going to make sure your shocks are equal lengths, okay? So you got like a ruler here, and then you've got a gauge at the top that's going to be centered if the shocks are equal lengths, because you can tighten these down on the back, and if you're off one way or another. This is a great way to fine tune on the fly, especially if you're making like an adjustment with the end eyelet, the bottom eyelet on the shock. So if you got to fine tune one quickly, you can use this and that'll work out great for that. The other thing that he sent me that I thought was really cool and actually personalized for the channel was this JB Trickle Studios. This is a like camber and tow setup station. And it comes with a little stand. He's got JB Trickle RC Studios printed on it. And the other really cool effect I thought that he did that I absolutely love was has part of my logo right here on the camber gauge. And this camber gauge, you got 4 different camber angles that you can measure. If you're going to be running something different than that, of course, like for myself, I'll be using my RPM camber gauge. But what's so cool about this is you're going to take these, then you're going to bolt them on all the way around the car, like so. And then I could take a small tape measure underneath the car on both sides, front, like on the front suspension to set your toe. You'd have them set up like this. You'd run your tape measure on the front side, then your back side, and that's going to tell you what your difference is on your toes. If you want to figure out the angles, of course, you can figure out what your, I've done it on a set of graph paper before, set up the car, figured out what my zero is, my straight line, and then drew the angle of the tire and measured it out if you want to know what your camber was in degree, or excuse me, if you want to know what your toe was in degrees. So huge shout out to Papa Bear 3D Designs. Be sure to check him out on Facebook. Not sponsored on the YouTube channel. I got to say that for YouTube purposes, but wanted to show you guys that and let you know where you could get it if you were interested. Check him out, all kind of cool stuff. Another thing we got going on here, let's go ahead and move this one out of the way, is my GFRP 2022 Havoc. This is my dirt oval, my purpose-built dirt oval, gonna be my late model car. I've been running the GFRP for about a season and a half now. I had a GFRP 3.2, so we have the new 2022 car. Super excited to get this finished. The car, I actually picked it up, it was already built. The only thing I'm gonna have to do is go back around, check setup, open up the shocks, and put the things that I want in the car. And the biggest difference between the 3.2 car and the 2022 is there's some obvious chassis differences if you're familiar with the 3.2 car. Instead of slots for the battery adjustment, we now have holes. There's a slight different design, or I shouldn't say slight, there's a pretty substantial difference in the cut of the chassis. There's no more aluminum kick up. It's a straight carbon fiber chassis all the way through the front, and your kick up is done with an aluminum kick up piece here where your front suspension mounts to it. And probably my most favorite feature of the car is a closed gear diff. So there's no more open direct drive where, you know, whenever you race dirt oval with the old style direct drives, you were having to always rebuild that differential almost after every race. I was using diff rings to try to seal the balls. I was using a shield. I did everything I could to cut the dirt down and to lower the maintenance, and I still had to rebuild those quite often. Not a big deal to me. I actually enjoy building diffs. I've got a diff program down. Matter of fact, if you've watched some of my build videos or setup and basic tuning tutorials, you're aware I go over the diffs quite substantially. But this is a closed gear diff, so this is going to be a lot less maintenance. I mean, you're obviously still going to have to maintain it and redo the diff fluid every now and then, but I'm super excited to have something a little bit more close to the elements for the dirt world compared to what I was used to. So you'll be seeing this on the channel again very soon. As I'm going to go ahead and update you guys with the 2022 paint scheme, the 2022 completed 21.5 late model car. So I'll be bringing you that really soon as well. Now, if you watched my last episode where I featured our Legends car whenever we went to Turn and Burn RC Speedway, I talked about in that video and mentioned something about going up there for their road course day. What we've got here is a X-Ray X4 chassis kit. What are we doing? We're going vintage Trans Am racing. We're going to do that some over the winter, hoping to get this kit put together fairly soon. Going to be doing some winter racing with it, and even during the outdoor season months, if there's if one of my outdoor races gets canceled due to bad weather, I've got another option. My Legends car, my vintage Trans Am car, I can take it to one of the indoor carpet tracks and have fun on a rain out weekend. So that was kind of the goal behind this, and to be able to bring something else new to the channel. I haven't featured touring cars in a while. I featured some of the touring car racing on the channel at some of the ERC oval races. Because whenever the numbers were up there and we actually had some touring car racers, I would try to cover that on the channel as well. But super excited to bring this to you in a little bit more detail. And this car, the number of pieces here in this car kit is ridiculous compared to the pan car builds, Traxxas Slash builds, the dirt oval builds I've featured on the channel. So So what I'm probably going to end up doing with this car and this particular build is I'm not going to cover the build from beginning to end. What I'm probably going to do is get the car put together, open up the box, film that, show you everything that's inside. I'm probably going to put the car together and then go back and review the build on video, future episode coming soon, and talk about some of the key areas of the car that may require some extra attention. I always point out those areas in my other builds, but there's going to be so much going on with this car. It'd probably be like a 2 or 3 hour video if I were to do that from beginning to end. So I'm going to show you the box contents whenever we do that video. I'm going to build it, then I'm going to point out some of the areas you may need to focus on. Also, too, guys, huge shout out to my race sponsor. Again, not YouTube sponsor, I have to say that. Huge thank you to Moonville RC and Hobby Center. They are always the ones that help hook me up on some of the things I need, whether it's for the channel or my own racing purposes. I'm going into year 3 with Moonville RC and Hobby being a race sponsor, so they're going to still be featured on my race cars, whether it be like an oval race car, you're going to see them on the hood, somewhere painted on the body. Maybe if it's a drag car, may have some vinyl decals. So huge shout out to Moonville RC for sticking with me for the 3rd year in a row. And also a huge shout out to Sticky Icky Tire Preps. Those guys, I'm also going into my 3rd racing season with those guys as well. They're going to be continuing sponsoring my race car, not YouTube channel. So great products, guys. And let me tell you something, for me to be with somebody for 3 years and for them to be with me for 3 years, I honestly feel like they offer the great services and great products, or else I wouldn't even, want them on the car. So huge shout out to those guys. Huge thank you as well. Another thing I want to talk about, this right here is a Traxxas body. What model is this? Let's see here, the Traxxas Max. Okay, so this is not the X Max, but the Traxxas Max body. This is a Traxxas demo body that we're going to be painting, and I don't know what the full detail is on this yet, but we're going to be painting a body for Traxxas. I'll be covering this paint job on the channel whenever I get a chance, and I don't know, like I said, I don't know to what level this is going to at Traxxas. Moonville RC and Hobby helped line this demo body for Traxxas up. So we're going to be painting this body and featuring it on the channel. Going to incorporate those on the channel occasionally, maybe show some painting tips while I do so and so on. I've got some painting tutorials on the channel already, but something pretty cool. Now, this particular body we're going to be covering on the channel as well. This is something that I talked to Richard at Moonville about, and what we're gonna be doing with this body, this is a store demo body for Moonville RC and Hobby Center. This is a Corvette, let's see here, the C7 drag car body. I've always liked doing theme bodies. If you follow the channel, you've probably seen some of them. I've had Superman cars. I've painted up other bodies and like to do themes. If you follow me on Facebook, you can go in, click on my profile, and look at the various pictures of cars that I've painted over the years. I don't offer any painting services currently. I just don't have the time anymore, but I wanted to do something. Richard and I talked about it. This is going to be a store demo body. You're going to be able to go see this in the store, see it in person, and I'm sure Richard will be willing to sell it at one point. At what cost, I don't know. It's not for me to sell. This is for him. It's going to have my logo on the rear deck lid somewhere, and we're going to have a really cool theme on here, and I'm thinking about doing something maybe superhero, some kind of superhero theme or something like that. Don't exactly know yet. We're going to figure that out soon enough. But I want to share this to the channel because I know a lot of you guys are local. Many are not. But if you wanted to go see this in person, you'll be able to go see this on display at the Moonville RC and Hobby Center, located in Greenville, South Carolina. So something really cool. I just want to go over some projects with you guys, what we got going on. Like I said, I know this is a shorter episode than usual, but just wanted to share some ongoing projects of stuff we got going. Stick around, guys. We've still got plenty of racing action coming your way. Well, if you're watching this video right now, I can go ahead and tell you the next upload should be the big 1RC Snow Derby race that was held at ERC at the Hobby Connection, Easley, South Carolina. It was what's going to hopefully become an annual big event for these 1RC cars. Lots of awesome racing, lots of fun. I didn't race, I just filmed. But had a blast regardless, so that episode is going to be coming soon as well. Lots more racing action for you, lots more tutorials coming your way, and so on. And guys, before I let you go, we're going to come back to this Havoc 2022 car again. I've had some people reach out. Of course, I've got the basic tuning and setup guides on the channel. I plan on, as soon as I can get to it, I got a lot planned to film and a lot of editing to do. But we're going to be doing the next step. We've got the basic setup and tuning guide. We're going to be discussing the next step. Once you master the basic setup and tuning, we're going to be looking at some other areas that I did not cover in that basic setup and tuning guide. So that video is going to be coming in the near future. We'll probably talk about the dirt oval cars and maybe some pan car stuff as well. And another thing I want to do, if you guys remember, these are dirt oval foam tires. I've got a tire truing tutorial here on the channel. If you haven't checked that out and you're into RC dirt oval foam tire racing or carpet oval racing, check that video out, especially if you're new to it and need some truing information and help. I'm going to be doing another tire truing tutorial video coming up soon. Whenever I cut these new tires, these are a couple of my 2022 tires. I've probably got 6 or 8 different packs of these. But what I'm going to be doing in that video a little bit different. We're still going to go over the basic cutting method, but I'm going to be showing you how to do pre-break-in on the tire truing length. So we didn't cover that in the last episode, but we're going to be covering it in this one, help you step up your game even more and going from there. But guys, as always, I greatly appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed this quick project update video. And like I said, plenty more RC racing action, plenty more tutorials, and a lot of good stuff coming to the channel and some new, never before seen locations this year. Can't wait to share that with you guys. I appreciate each and every one of you. If you're going to race somewhere this weekend, best of luck to you and have a blast. And we'll catch you guys on the next episode.